I've got a joke for you. How do rocks relax in rocking chairs? Get it? I love jokes, but I love telling about Jesus even more. When Jesus taught, people really wanted to hear what he had to say. This was way back, before TV or phones were invented, so people would travel from far away to hear him. Sometimes, giant crowds of people would gather on the shore of a lake, and he would sit on a boat and teach them. Some of the religious leaders hated Jesus and were angry that people were listening to him. One time, while his boat gently rocked by the water, he told a parable. A parable is an imaginative story that helps people understand something true. This parable was about a farmer planting seeds, and it rocked. The farmer planted the seeds by scattering them on the ground. This is called sowing, but not the kind of sowing you do when you make clothes. As the farmer sowed, he couldn't control where every single seed went. The seeds in Jesus' story represent his words. Some of the seeds landed on the path, and birds swooped down and gobbled them up. In this parable, Jesus is talking about the way that Satan, the enemy, is like the bird that comes and takes away God's message that is inside the seeds. As the farmer continued to scatter the seeds, some of them fell in the rocks. Since there was only a little dirt, the seeds sprouted up fast. But the roots couldn't grow deep, so the plants weren't very big or strong. This part of the parable was talking about how some people are really excited to hear from Jesus, but they don't have good support, like strong roots. So when troubles happen, they don't listen to Jesus because living for him is too hard. The farmer kept sowing, and some of the seeds fell in a patch of thorns. The seeds that fell in these weeds couldn't grow at all. The weeds are like things that take our mind off Jesus. Sometimes people worry too much or care too much about money and stuff. Then, Jesus showed us the best place for the seeds. When the seeds fall on dirt that is good for growing, these seeds can grow up and create even more seeds. These seeds can turn into a huge crop, maybe even 100 times bigger. Jesus is talking about the people who hear his word and obey it. God's words are like the seeds, and we are like the soil where it grows. When we do what Jesus says, God works through us. Aren't you grateful that God always helps us when we mess up? He helps us by reminding us of his word and encouraging us to live the way he says. Jesus is asking us to be the good soil because Jesus wants us to hear and obey.